for joining me today. My name is Alicia Walker, and I'll be taking you through this yoga flow geared toward beginners today. I'd recommend a yoga mat to start, and as well as possibly some blocks for some of the forward fold poses we'll be doing later. Also, if you have any knee pain or any history of knee injury, you may want either a blanket or a pillow to pad the knees for some of the poses as well. And remember, any of the poses we go through, don't move into pain, and let's focus on being kind to our bodies today and meet them where they're at. So you can begin in any comfortable seated position, either kneeling or cross-legged. And let's begin to bring our awareness to our breath and our body. Just check in. Notice any areas that may feel stiff or painful right now. Keep an eye on those throughout the practice. Never forcing or pushing your body into an area that hurts. Start to lengthen our breath. With every inhale, expanding all sides of the ribcage and belly. With every exhale, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears, gently pulling the low belly in. One more deep breath here. And then in whatever way feels good to you, make your way to child's pose. So find yourself in the middle of the mat, rock your hips back towards your heels, widen your knees just a little bit to create space for your belly, and reach your hands out long on the mat. Relax the forehead to the mat. Find a couple more deep breaths here, expanding through the back of the body. And anytime during the practice, if you ever feel overwhelmed or have any pain, you can always return to this child's pose, breathe, and join us again whenever you're ready. On your next inhale, you're going to use the breath to float up into a tabletop position, bringing the wrists under the shoulders, knees under hips, low belly fold in. And as you exhale, rock your hips back towards your heels, back to your child's pose. And use your glutes, squeeze the glutes to bring yourself back up to the tabletop. So we're going to use this simple flow to connect our movement to our breath. So as you exhale, rocking the hips back, relax the forehead. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, shift back up to the tabletop, and continue moving just like this with your own breath at your own pace. Slowing down or speeding up the movement to fit the breath. That way the breath is guiding the movement. So you're never forcing or straining. You can keep moving through this. I want to make one note for anyone that has wrist pain or soreness when they're doing yoga. A quick trick you can do is either grab a towel or fold the yoga mat up so that it's a little cushioned, and place just the end of the palm onto the mat, making sure we're still in alignment here. Wrists under shoulders and knees under hips, and then pressing the pads of the fingertips into the floor. And continue moving from there and see if that helps. If you do have any wrist achiness or pain, this can work for during downward facing dog as well. One more breath here. And then find yourself back in your tabletop and just stay here. I'm going to work through a thread the needle twist. So on an inhale, press your right palm, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. And exhale, thread the left hand behind the right, reach all the way through, try to drop the left shoulder onto the mat. And then inhale, thread the needle, open up again. And continue moving at your own pace. Exhale to twist through. Inhale to open up. Gaze up toward the ceiling. And exhale, twist. One more, twist open, and exhale, twist to the right, and let's hold it there, gently easing the left shoulder down toward the mat. You can relax your head and rock the hips back toward the heels as much as feels good. For a nice stretch through the toes and the feet, you can tuck your toes, and as you rock the hips back, it'll gently open up that plantar fascia. Couple more deep breaths here. On an inhale, untwist back to your tabletop. And we'll set up for that on the other side. So press through the left palm, reach the right fingertips up toward the sky, twisting open. And exhale, twisting to the left, reaching right fingertips through. And inhale to open. Exhale, pull the low belly in as you twist to the left, reaching. Inhaling to open. Find a pace here that works for you. Nice slow breaths. And on your next exhale, twisting through to the left, reaching those right fingertips. You can either keep your toes tucked or untucked here, rocking the hips back, easing the right shoulder down, wherever it feels it's ready to go today. No judgment. You can relax the head onto the mat. Imagine you can send your breath to any tight muscles or joints that are holding on. Release the tension as you exhale. And on your next inhale, unwind from our twist. Bring it back to a tabletop. And you can leave your mat rolled up if this feels good for your wrists, or unroll it. And we're going to tuck our toes and push through the palms and the fingertips and engage the low belly to send the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. So you're in your down dog, you're making your body into an upside down V shape. You want to slowly allow the heels to plug in toward the mat. And press your chest, press your sternum toward your upper thighs. To extend through the thoracic spine. Let your head and neck relax. And send the tailbone up toward the sky. Now if your hamstrings are really tight, it's okay. You can bend your knees a little bit to take some pressure off them. One more deep breath through the back body. And as you exhale, walk your feet up towards your hands, keeping your knees nice and bent here. And then exhale to forward fold. Relax your upper body over your legs. As you inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the crown of the head, hands to shins. And then exhale, relax forward again. And inhale your arms out to a T, thumbs up, and raise all the way up to the sky. Reaching fingertips up, mini back bend here. And exhale, arms to a T, swan dive forward to your forward fold. And let's inhale to halfway lift one more time. Hands to shins. Exhale to forward fold. This time, arms up overhead and sit back and down. Find our chair pose as you come up. Keep the chest lifted, hips down. Keep those knees steady over the ankles. And plug the shoulders down away from the ears. Even gaze up, lift the chin slightly to help lift the chest. And one more breath here, see if you can sit a little bit lower. And on an exhale, dive forward over the legs, forward fold. Breathe into halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, relax down. And bend your knees as much as you need here to step your right foot. Plant your palms and step your right foot back. And here's where if you have any issues with your knee, here's where if you have any pain or injury in your knee, you may want to get a pad or a towel. Got my handy towel here. And you can place it right under the knee. Got a little cushion. Otherwise, what we're going to do is plant both palms on the inside of the left foot. You can heel toe that foot just a little wider too. And bend the left elbow to sink your chest toward the mat. Feel that nice opening through the hamstring and hip flexor. Gently pressing, allowing gravity to send the hips toward the mat as well. And we're going to incorporate some twists here. If it feels good to you, press through the right palm and reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. Twisting open. And exhale to lower. Bend the left elbow to sink down again. And a couple more like that. Inhale to open. Exhale, untwist. And one more here. Inhale to open toward the left knee. Exhale, untwist. And from here, you have an option of staying right here if this feels challenging for you and like a good stretch. Or we can press through the left foot and reach the fingertips up toward the sky into our half kneeling warrior. Keep the shoulders plugged down, reaching fingertips up. Slight back bend here, and you should feel a nice opening through the right hip flexor. And then fine, on an exhale, you're going to straighten the left knee just a little bit and bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to flow through that. So inhale, bend, send the left knee forward, reach fingertips up. And inhale. Inhale to open. Exhale, straighten the left knee, arms by your sides. One more time, inhale to open. Exhale, straighten the left knee, arms by the sides. And let's go back in and we're going to hold it there. Reaching fingertips up, keep the tailbone tucked underneath slightly. And press through the front foot. And also option to untuck the toes here. Deep breaths, broadening through the back body. And on an exhale, bring both arms down inside the foot. And we'll step that left foot back to meet the right and sit up for the opposite side. So using your pad, position it underneath the left knee if you need this time. And we'll heel toe walk that right foot up to the outer edge of the right side of the mat. Keeping both palms planted on inside the right foot. And same thing over here, you can bend the right elbow this time, sink the chest toward the mat. Finding that nice deep stretch, deep hip opener here. And if you did so on the other side, let's plant the left palm and twist open toward the right this time. Reaching fingertips up and exhaling, sink down toward the mat. And connecting your movement to your breath here. One more to open, and exhale to sink down. And also, if you feel upright on this side, on an inhale, pressing through the right foot and reaching up, finding our half kneeling warrior on this side. Fingertips toward the sky, thumbs toward the back of the mat. Tucking the tailbone slightly, open through the left hip. Lifting the chest up and open. Keep your weight evenly dispersed through the back knee and right foot. Feeling all four corners of your right foot pressing into the mat. And on an exhale, straighten through the front knee, bring the arms down by the sides. And connecting the movement to the breath here again. Inhaling open into your kneeling warrior. Exhale, straighten the right knee. A couple more times like that. If you feel at all unsteady here, you can heel toe your foot a little bit wider. That'll give you a wider base of support. Same movement, wanting to shift forward, straight forward toward the front of your mat. Exhaling back. Inhaling forward, and let's hold it here. Finding that deep hip opener. Press through the right foot, engage the low belly. And just be with your body. On an exhale, rainbow those arms down inside the right foot. And we can step the right foot back, move the left. And you can move your towel or knee pad away, finding your tabletop and tucking your toes. We're going to find one more downward dog. So press through the palms, engage the low belly, tucking the toes, sending the hips up and back. Finding our upside down V again. And let's check in with the body here. You're always welcome to just find a child's pose if that's what you need right now. See if you feel a little more open, more stretched out after initial poses. Really press through the pads of the fingers, send the heels toward the mat. Tailbone to the sky. Deep breath in. And exhale to walk your feet up toward your hands again. Keeping the knees lightly bent. Let's find an inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, arms to a T, pressing all the way up to standing, reaching the fingertips up. Mini back bend, if that feels good. Exhale to swan dive forward, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, halfway lift again. Shoulder blades lightly squeeze together. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to our Utkatasana chair pose again. Hips down and back, chest up. If this feels like too much on your back, you're welcome to bring the arms down by the sides. Keep those shoulders point down away from the ears. Otherwise, let's reach the thumbs up and back here. Sit those hips down and back a little further. Keep the chest lifted, low belly pulled in. And exhale to forward fold. Good work. And let's inhale, one more halfway lift here. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. And let's stay here in our fold. Maybe pedaling the feet out, so bend one knee slightly, straighten the other. And just going back and forth here. Gently shaking your head left to right. Yes, no, release tension in the neck. And on your next inhale, bring those arms out to a T, all the way up to standing. Reaching up to the sky. And exhale, press through the palms and tuck the chin, lower the arms. And here we are in our mountain pose. Checking in with the body here. And all four corners of the feet pressing into the mat. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And check to make sure your feet are about hips width apart. Adjust as needed. And we're going to set up for our warrior by stepping the right foot back 3 to 4 feet. You want your right toes just angled out slightly. And you square your hips toward the front of the mat, your hips and your shoulders. Keeping the And from here, on an inhale, you're going to bend through the front knee and you reach the fingertips up and back, just like we did in our kneeling warrior. And as you exhale, straighten through the front knee, arms down to the sides. Find a pace and a breath that works for you. Inhale to open, exhale, arms down. Inhale into warrior, sinking the hips down, bending through the front knee. And exhale, back to center. Remember, letting your breath guide your movement. So it may be a little faster or a little slower than what I'm moving. Find what feels good to you. And on your next inhale, let's stay in our warrior. So sinking the hips down, make sure that right hip crease is pulled forward so it's in line with the left. And if it feels better on your shoulders, you can bring your arms down by your sides, or maybe interlace your palms behind you and squeeze the shoulder blades together to open through the chest a little more. Keep the chin lifted. Pressing through all four corners of both feet. Really feels grounded here. And on an exhale, you can unclasp your hands. And if you need, heel toe or step your back foot in just enough so you can step your feet back together in here. And reconnecting to your mountain pose, grounding through the feet, relaxing the shoulders. Find your nice easy breath. And we can set up for the opposite side. Stepping that left foot back 3 to 4 feet and angling the left toes in about 45 degrees. And let's square the hips and the shoulders to the front of the mat. And starting with the right knee relatively straight, but not locked out. Let's inhale to open into our warrior on this side. And exhale back to center. Finding a pace that works for you. Shifting your hips forward to the front of the mat. And exhale, shift them back. Inhale to warrior, bending through the right knee. Exhale back. at your own pace. Be kind to your body for whatever it feels ready for today. On your next inhale, let's go in and hold this warrior. Feel strong and rooted into your mat. And if you did on the other side, you can also interlace your hands here. Try interlacing the opposite thumb and finger on top of each other this time. Squeeze those shoulders down and back. Open through the chest. Press through the feet. Keep the right knee over the right ankle. And pull that right hip crease back just a smidge. Make sure it's in line with the left. More deep breath. Feel the warmth building in the quad. As you exhale, you can uninterlace your palms. And shifting your weight into your right foot. Step the left foot in just a bit and all the way to meet it. And find an inhale to reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. And bend the knees as much as you need to plant your palms. And step the right foot back. And left foot back to meet it. And rocking your hips back, find your child's pose again. Deep breath through the back of the body. Find an inhale to shift up and through tabletop and make your way all the way onto your belly this time. Bring a cheek to the mat. Reach your arms down by your sides, palms facing up. And let's zip the legs together, so bring your feet close together, even big toes touching if you can. And use an inhale to find our locust pose, using the muscles of your back to peel your rib cage and chest up off the mat. Reach those fingertips down toward the heels. And then exhale to lower, bring forehead to the mat. And we'll move through this at your own pace. Inhale to raise up, reaching the fingertips, press the tops of the feet into the mat. And exhale to lower. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest up. Press the pelvis into the mat as well. And exhale to lower. For more of a challenge, you can also lift your legs up as you raise up, or even just one leg at a time. So inhale to lift the chest, use one leg up, or both, or none. And exhale to lower. Inhaling up, keep the gaze down at the mat. So you keep the back of your neck long, so no craning the neck up. Reach the fingertips, keep those legs together, and exhaling to lower. Find a pace that works for you. Several more breaths here. One more inhaling up. Make this the biggest inhale. Reaching up and back. Lift your whole body up off the mat. And exhale to relax down. You can shake, and you can rock the hips right to left gently to release any tension in the low back. And when you're ready, make your way onto laying on your back. And let's immediately hug the knees into the chest. That always feels good after some gentle back bends, rocking right to left. And release both feet onto the mat. We'll set up for a figure 4 stretch here, crossing the right ankle over the left knee. And pressing the right knee away from you. If this doesn't feel like much of a stretch for you, you can also thread the needle, bringing your hands to the back of your left thigh and gently pulling that thigh in toward your chest. And push the right knee away from you with your elbow. So find whatever expression of your figure 4 stretch feels good to you. If you have any knee pain during this, you can back off a little bit, or try flexing your toes up toward the knee. That helps to protect the knee joint. Reconnect with your breath again. On an inhale, go and release your left foot and right foot down to the mat, and we'll set up for the opposite side, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. You can push the left knee away from you. Looking for a nice stretch through the outside of the left hip on this side. And if you need to, or if you did on the opposite side, go ahead and grab the back of the right thigh, gently squeeze that in toward the chest, while pushing the left knee away from you. Deep inhales, expand. And exhales to relax. When you feel complete on this side, release your right thigh. Bring both feet to the mat again. And let's heel toe your feet so they're touching, and bring both bottoms of the feet together, widening through the knees for a Supta Baddha Konasana. And here's where having blocks may be helpful for you if you're having any pain or if this feels very tight for you. You can put a block on either side of the knee. It helps find a supported Supta Baddha Konasana. They're here, or you can stack them and at whatever height works for you, so that you can find a gentle opening through the inner thigh, the adductors. And relaxing here, allowing your arms to rest along your sides. And you can release control of your breath. Nice, easy breaths. Maybe close your eyes. And we'll use this final pose as our Shavasana today to reflect on our gentle yoga flow. Think back throughout our yoga flow today. Take note if you had any negative mental self-talk. Let's examine that and see if we can let it go. And find something kind to tell to yourself, even if it's as simple as congratulating yourself for taking the time to complete this yoga class. Maybe you were able to hold a pose a little longer than you thought you'd be able to at first. Stretch a little deeper than you thought you could. Or that you simply showed up. Acknowledge yourself for the work you put in today. And when you're ready to end today, you can move your blocks if you use them. Gently stretch the legs out long on the mat, reaching, flexing through the toes and fingers. More great big breath. And roll onto your side. Find a fetal position for breath. Forward gently, making your way into a seated position. And thank you one more time for joining me for this beginner's level yoga class. Your hands to heart center. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. Namaste.